Bereavement is a key component of hospice care. Patients often find relief and comfort knowing their loved ones will receive support. And bereavement is a regulatory mandate, so getting it right is critical. Hi, Jennifer, the hospice social worker here again. Let's look at how Hospice Tools delivers effective and user-friendly tools for bereavement. We're in our patient's Samantha's chart, and if we go to Create eDoc, we see a number of bereavement notes that are available. Let's first look at the Bereavement Risk Assessment. Hospice bereavement assessments can be done within the standard comprehensive assessment form. There's a portion on bereavement in the comprehensive assessment that the nurse can document at the visit. But for a more targeted bereavement risk assessment that a chaplain or social worker would complete, this would be the form. On the Bereavement Risk Assessment form, we start with date and time in, time out. Like many forms, these fields flow into the timekeeper timesheets and into billing. We also have the bereavement contacts identified. So we'd add those contacts in over here. The name, their relationship, the address, and the phone. Then we identify if anyone has been identified in a long-term care facility, meaning if it's a nursing home. And then we have a list of bereavement risk factors. If we click through, we have an extensive list of bereavement risk factors, and we can score it if we want to categorize and track the bereaved parties if they're low risk, moderate, or high risk. This scoring allows us to identify, categorize, and run reports with the different needs. And we can add free text comments if we want to add a narrative as well. And then, of course, the date at the bottom, like every other form, and that's the Bereavement Assessment tool. We can see that Hospice Tools delivers a streamlined bereavement risk assessment. But bereavement requires a comprehensive approach. Now that we have a targeted assessment, we can hop back over to the care plans and we can see a bereavement care plan. Here are some of the suggested goals, and what we can do is document our bereavement activities either in an assessment form or a care plan or a combination of both. So we can do an assessment for every new patient that comes on and then document the care plan with more of the specifics. We'll select that family members will share grief with each other. And we can edit or add those suggestions with free text, just like the nursing and psychosocial care plans, if you've seen those videos. Once we add those, we can note any observations or occurrences related to the problem. And we'll say that the patient's son John is at high risk for grief. We'll rank his risk as severe, and that will give me these interventions and outcomes, allowing us to add from all these different suggested goals. Let's select Review Care Plan with the bereaved persons and encourage contact with spiritual caregiver, provide grief materials, and support families' grief reactions, for instance. We'll go ahead and add them. We'll date the form and then save and submit. And as things happen, if, let's say, our patient is on bereavement for a year and we want to update the care plan, we can update the care plan at any point while the patient's on service or after the patient has passed away, discontinue the care plan after they've come off of bereavement. We can also document bereavement visit notes or progress notes. If, for example, we have a phone call with a patient, we can document it in our bereavement progress notes. The progress note is a straightforward narrative note. We'll put in that we had a phone call, but we could put in visit, phone call administrative, phone call patient care, care plan update, care plan conference. It covers a number of different options. But we'll say that we just did a phone call, and we'll enter that we spoke with the son, John, over the phone. He received the mailings we sent and plans on attending the memorial service. We'll date it and submit it. And now the document will show up in my bereavement section as a bereavement progress note. We can also do a bereavement discharge summary that's built in. If a patient comes off of bereavement, maybe it was done over the phone or a visit or letter, and then the reason for discharge, we'll pick 12-month anniversary of death as the reason for discharge. We'll check the relevant services provided, which summarizes what we've done bereavement-wise for that patient or family. We'll say we did counseling and home visits and made referrals for community resources. Then there are the different goals that have been met as part of the bereavement and a narrative section for the summary of bereavement progress or resolution. We can type in, let's say, son John, coping well now. And then, of course, we can add specific bereaved names. And if something comes up and we can't finish the document in one session, we can click Save and Close. And if I go to my dashboard, I'll see it as an unfinished document. I can go in anytime and finish and submit it. And that's how bereavement is built into the system. Hospice Tools uses simple workflows and flexible forms to deliver a robust, streamlined bereavement process. Hospice Tools, how hospice happens.